Hello, this is Perry Mink. It is Thursday, September 3rd, 2020 at about 8:10 in the evening. And today I paid rent and I let them know that there's no gas and so there's no hot water and no, the burners aren't working for the stovetop. We got back by bicycle and I decided to check on the status of Attorney Jane Elliot and Judge Barbara Zuniga, and Jane is still active, and that was so upsetting, and Barbara Zuniga is listed as inactive, and inactive simply means that they could still hear a case. It means that just at that moment there is like a retirement or something, but the status inactive means that if they need to have a judge come on the bench, then that judge that's considered inactive can come back to the bench and hear a case. So I decided to look up some information online. Maybe there was something in the news that I wasn't aware of and they didn't post it on the California State Bar, because that's what happened with Marianne O'Malley, and it's like they just disappeared, which was strange. And so I looked up and I found this article on law.com, and it's called Judicial Profile Barbara Zuniga. This is the third take of this video because the first one I edited and it wouldn't, once it went to save, it wouldn't work. Then I did it again, and then my voice wasn't matched up with my movement. So this article is dated January 9, 2002, and it just says elected, this is about Judge Barbara Zuniga, elected June 7th, 1994, date of birth October 10, 1945, and then her law degree was at the Golden Gate University School of Law, and that's in 1976. I believe they're in San Francisco, and not too far from the Moscone Center, or somewhere in not too far from Market, I'm guessing. But what I noticed in this article is, now that I know how to identify cruel Catholic MO, I noticed in this article that you can find that the people that are speaking out, the people that are talking, are actually part of this cruel Catholic MO. So here it says, Contra Costa County Superior Court Judge Barbara Zuniga is not rigid, attorneys say. In fact, they add, she likes humor and is very pleasant to lawyers and their clients. So that means that she thinks it's fun. Okay, she likes humor, so it's supposed to be fun. And then it says she is very pleasant to lawyers and their clients. Okay, well that's a lie. She's not pleasant, and they know that that's an exaggeration. Then you get down here, and this attorney named Frank Stevens from the Walnut Creek, Stevens, Drummond, and Gifford law firm, who represents government agencies, says she's a lady, he explained. Well, he knows he's lying. Frank Stevens knows that Barbara Zuniga is a man. Then you come down to this assistant public defender, John Funk, and he makes some statements about Barbara Zuniga, and he says here, I'll read the statement. The soft-spoken jurist uses a microphone when she is on the bench, which also adds an official air, said Assistant Public Defender John Funk. It's quiet in the courtroom until she starts speaking, he said. Attorneys also said Zuniga thoroughly weighs legal issues when she presides over a case. She is not a shoot-from-the-hip person, said Funk. So that right there tells you that they really do think that they're playing cowboys and Indians. And it's disturbing. It's disturbing. So then the next statement is, she is a deliberate lady. She wants to be prepared, says Stevens, adding that Zuniga isn't afraid to make a tough ruling. So that right there, she is a deliberate lady. She wants to be prepared, really translates to that everything is premeditated. Everything is already a premeditated scam, court scam, where they're going to play some kind of a sick game, a game that is dangerous, and you don't know it. But so now you can see from public statements that from studying Cruel Catholic MO, from my part articles, that that would represent that. That she wants to be premeditating in this heinous scam on unsuspecting people who go to the courthouse or litigants. So that's scary. That's very scary. But they won't say it out loud. And this Funk must be very close friends with her. And as I've posted, that the public defender knows that this is going on. And this is a organized crime ring. It's happening right there between the district attorney, the public defender, the courthouses, and all these other places. The doctors that work with them, any expert witnesses. It's just dangerous. It's very dangerous. It's a extreme terrorist, violent terrorist regime. So then it goes down to, I was looking at this case, and I started thinking, I said in my other video that there are cases that either they're going to be, it's a setup, and the people in the court system know who these people are and that they're going to take money from somebody else. It's a setup, right? It's either going to be somebody that they know, a family member, they want to protect somebody. It's surprising that a case would even be able to be filed in the court system. And this case that I mentioned is, it says, in one case before Zuniga, Stevens represented a school district that was sued by parents because it sent home 2 high school students for drinking alcoholic Irish coffee on a school trip to Germany. The students said they had ordered an alcohol-free drink but got one with liquor instead. Zuniga dismissed the case and ordered the parents to pay $60,000 in sanctions. Okay, well, there's something wrong here. And so this Stevens guy, who knows Zuniga, because in the first part of the article, he was the one that represents government agencies, and he's saying that, he said, don't take her casually, and then he says, she's a lady, be respectful. But then when you get down to this case, it's apparent that he would have known that the court system was not going to hear the case, and that they were allowing students to, or the school system to be irresponsible. So, I mean, when you look at these cases, you realize who they're protecting. They're protecting criminals, they're protecting bad behavior, they're protecting out-of-control behavior, they're protecting all the things that our legal system is not supposed to be doing. So obviously they knew that the system was not functioning, even at that stage in 2002. So after reading this article, it was, sickening to see that even back then, the federal government was allowing them to allow our legal system to be overthrown by a terrorist organization. So down here it says, some would say that she is too ponderous or slow, said Funk, and that's the public defender. However, if you are a victim or a defendant, the deliberate approach is the one that people feel more satisfied about. Okay, well, that's a lie, because as we can see in my case, the victim, okay, so what does he mean? If you are a victim or a defendant, the deliberate approach is the one that people feel more satisfied about. So it's like saying, either way, then the premeditated approach is the one that the people feel like. This is just absurd. The responses are just very illegal. That is not what our law books say. I can tell you that because they aren't hearing cases down there. I experienced it firsthand that it's just a terrorist group. It's a very dangerous, violent, sex terrorist group that stems from the Catholic Church. So that's what I posted earlier, and I just am asking, I'm pleading, because this is over 14 years. They knew that it was my case, Encina Veterinary Clinic Incorporated et al., doing business as Encina Veterinary Hospital. They knew that it was organized crime, and that Encina was in the crime ring with the board, with the California Veterinary Medical Board, the Commissioner Judge Golub, the local law enforcement, Walnut Creek law enforcement, police officers, sheriff's deputies, with the O'Malleys, Presiding Judge Marianne O'Malley, her husband Dan O'Malley, the Marciano family, Justice Marciano, Justice Ignacio Ruballo, and they knew they were doing this together. This is a huge scam, organized crime ring on the general population, and you wouldn't know it when you would go to the veterinary practice, to Encina. You wouldn't know that because they're licensed. You would think that our government agency, the board, would be protecting us, but that's not what they were doing. We're also paying for the Consumer Protection Agency, so there again, that's paid by taxpayers, and it's an organized crime ring. It's a terrorist group regime that took over. So I'm just asking that we need all the help that we can get, that millions of people have to stop these people from doing this. They're using this very dirty sex, slander, and malicious, vile attacks to take all of our property away. And my case has nothing to do with my blood family members. I filed my case in 2008. The incident happened in 2006. I was timely, according to the law books regarding statute of limitations. The last time I saw my blood family members was around 1992. And so we're talking, 1992, 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's about 14, 15 years that I hadn't seen my family. And then when I got I was contacted somewhere during the time that I was in the program still with the VA, with the Veterans Affairs. And that fall, and I want to say 2015, the fall of 2015, that I received contact from who I thought was my niece. I'm sorry, my niece, and that's the daughter of my oldest sister. And these people have nothing to do with the civil case at all. And so as time went by and as I started being terrorized more, because in 2016, August of 2016, I got evidence and I asked the VA to please fix it. And all of a sudden they ramped up terrorist attacks on me. And then after it got so violent, because they went after my classic car, and they just were just damaging everything, breaking windows here, I realized after I started writing the part articles that maybe those two people weren't really my relatives, that because there were cases out in Rossmore, the senior community, that people were contacting the seniors and targeting them and claiming that they were relatives and that they would trick them into sending them money, and they weren't relatives. So I was afraid, that that wasn't them actually, that what did they really do to my blood family members? Well, they set them up. They probably, well, I know they told them lies about me because they wanted to get rid of me. This is a tactic that they teach in the Catholic schools, that you use somebody's personal information and then you terrorize them. I know this because my mom learned it at Sacred Heart in Japan, the Catholic girls' school. And what's happening is the Catholic schools, the Catholic Church, some of these Catholic people like Governor Jerry Brown, Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, these top people, the Mark DeSaulnier, Representative Mark DeSaulnier, Mark Thompson is Catholic, he's a representative, his name is John Garamendi is Catholic, he's a representative. I mean, there's just so many saturated Catholics here. Norelia Gipner is Catholic. They know that this is an order from the Catholic Church, that you illegally use somebody's private information and you use it to terrorize them. And the purpose of that is so that they have no rights. And then in the process they steal your property and they damage your property and they steal your money. And they're marauders. This is illegal. They use sex. Dirty sex, and it's behind your back. And they gather that information to premeditate attacking you, and this is illegal. My blood family members have nothing to do with it. And my older sister has nothing to do with it. They lied to her. They were going to tell her anything that they could, knowing how vulnerable that she was, and then trick them into going along with them. And if you didn't go along with them, they were still going to somehow ruin you. None of my co-workers, my people that were neighbors, none of them had anything to do with this heinous veterinary medical Ponzi scheme that they were perpetrating on the clients there, and that they were swindling them, and then they were torturing, maiming, doing all these things, and the client doesn't know. The patient, of course, is just an innocent, sentient being, a little animal, but us clients don't know what to do. That's why we're so dependent on them, and we wouldn't know what decision to make. I don't know the inside of the dog. I don't know the inside of a cat. That's why they do all the testing that they do, and then they interpret it, and they're supposed to tell us the truth, but that's not what they're doing. It's a very illegal Ponzi scheme where they're telling you that they love you. Oh, we love you, Elvira. That's what they're doing. And it's illegal. It's illegal. This is sick. This is cruel. These people are vile people. They are violent, very violent people. All right, thank you for listening, and this is about a 20-minute video. It's about 8:30, and Winnie and I have an appointment tomorrow, and I just ask millions of people, please, please, If United States is to keep our Constitution and our rights, we have to stop this horrific, lying terrorist regime. They're marauders. They're violent. They're just very violent. They're using your sex life, making sex noises. These people are dirty, just evil. They know. I posted numerous times about what was going on down here at the legal system with this troubled rape case with Gressett, the deputy district attorney at the DA. And it's still going on. These people are having sex together. It's supposed to be stopped. No sex relations in the government. This is something that the Catholics teach. They do this in public, and it's illegal. All right, thank you for watching. Signing off for now.